experience means, because Auburn does retain its entire staff outside of Bruce Pearl, the on-court experience, as you mentioned, Fran, certainly tilts in Houston's favor with Sharp, Milos Uzan, and JoJo Tugler. 3 starters back from a team that was within 1 possession of the title. And the Cougars begin with the ball. The first real test for both teams, who've started 3-0. This wonderful mid-November atmosphere and a sold-out Legacy Arena. And Houston opens the game with a bucket from the freshman Chris Sinak Jr.
There's a rumor that last year Houston ran 40 different first play of the game plays. We watched them work on that play this morning, and it worked perfectly.
That's exactly how they ran it. Shoot around, and now here's Keyshawn Hall, Auburn's leading scorer with the first 2.
Folks, you're going to love this kid. He's well-traveled. He's slimmed down. He will be one of the leading scorers in college basketball. Put it in your book. Count on it.
Houston to 3 returning starters plus 2 outstanding freshmen. Kingston Flemings has opened some eyes everywhere. And here's Sinak, 2 potential Lowry picks. Sinak had it taken away by Hall, who was out of bounds. It will stay with the Cougars. Our officials today make the call. Don Daly, Ron Groover, and Marcus Pettigrew.
That was a little bit of the experienced Auburn Tiger pulling the chair out from the freshman. Chris Sinak. Of course, we mentioned the 3 experienced players for Houston, Kev. They are starting 2 precocious, very talented freshmen.
Here's one of them in Flemings. Gets a step inside. His high-arcing layup off the window will go. Kingston Flemings out of San Antonio has lit the world on fire at his first 3 college games.
Kelvin's been whining about the 2 freshmen, and what does he do? He runs 2 plays for them right off the bat, inside and out.
Auburn with his 4th starting lineup in 4 games. Hall has been there for every one of them. Misses a 3. And here's Flemings, who will play a lot with Uzan. 2 point guards, 2 shooters. And Pettiford grabs the Uzan miss. Here's a 3 for Pettiford. It's good. A perfect sign for a struggling Tiger.
This is a guy that last year in the win in Houston for Auburn, off the bench, Tahad Pettiford was electric with 21.
Uzan well short on the floater. There's a foul against Houston. Tahad Pettiford into this game, Frank, just 4 for 23 start to the season from 3. What a good sign this is.
It's a huge sign, because this year he's the marked man. Last year he was kind of the X factor, could come off the bench, do his thing. But Stephen Pearl told us today he's confident this young man will regroup and play the way he was capable of, the way he played last year off the bench.
That was the breakout game in a 74-69 Auburn win that really set the tone for the best season in Auburn men's basketball history. Keyshawn Murphy back on the floor after missing 2 games to injury, leaves it short. There's Uzan for the Cougars. And the first foul on JoJo Tugler, their starting 5. Freshman Flemings whips it around to Sharp. His 3-pointer is good. Emmanuel Sharp, the first team all Big 12 preseason pick with a 3.
Think about the luxury Houston has. They have a great freshman guard co-piloting these planes with 2 veterans, Sharp, Uzan.
Auburn has scored 93 points or more in all 3 regular season games, plus both exhibitions. Here's Elijah Freeman, smothered at the rim. That was Tugler, one of the best defensive players in the country, with a block. Sharp gets entangled with Kevin Overton. And Overton, the Texas Tech transfer, hit with a foul.
Well, let's watch Freeman. Now, let's talk about him in a second. Great block by Joe Tugler, one of the leading candidates for National Defensive Player of the Year. Freeman, the Division II transfer from Lincoln Memorial, is going to get a taste of what high major basketball is like today. Terrific talent.
Flemings off for Sharp, another 3. That's too deep. Tugler, well, he got fouled by Murphy. Ball falls to Keyshawn Hall. Hall had space for 3, got rid of it instead, once to Stephen Pearl's chagrin.
Well, and I thought Murphy fouled Tugler, so we're even. And I think these officials want to keep the best players on the floor today.
Stephen Pearl told us this will be the easiest game plan of the year and the hardest one to execute because of how physical Houston is, if you talk to any coach that plays Houston, they'll tell you you cannot simulate what the Cougars do. Pettiford 3. This one too strong, and it'll be Houston ball. There's a push at the end there. And no foul as it was Elijah Freeman hitting the deck.
You know what the game plan is when you play Houston? Box out. Keep them off the glass. Watch that right here, a little hustle. Elijah Freeman, a young man with no Division I offer, so he went to junior college. Lincoln Memorial at D2 power, excuse me, at D2, not junior college. But the luxury that this young man has with the ball is that he's playing with a veteran in Uzan, and they can play on the court together.
Houston 35-5 a season ago. Tugler misses in the lane, misses his second and third opportunities of the possession. And here's Hall who can run the point at about 6'9". Hall slithers his way in. The follow won't go, and Tugler grabs the board.
Watch the speed.
Auburn starts just 2 for 9. Uzan. Tugler will miss another one. He's missed 4 straight. And Murphy takes it away from him.
He might have 4 offensive rebounds because he got his own rebound back a couple different times.
Overton. Another one off the rim, and Hall went over the back there. Good box out by Flemings, and Keyshawn Hall with a foul. Grimy, crunchy start here in Birmingham. Houston by 2.
2 Final Fours, great success, and then, oh, by the way, the assistant coach, the associate head coach would take over for the head coach. I think everybody would have signed up for that. And Stephen Pearl put a lot of hard work and blood, sweat, and tears in this program with his dad. The cool thing he told us today is the entire coaching staff is intact. Nice steal.
Pettiford took it away from Tugler. Tahad Pettiford. This with the offhand, and Sebastian Williams-Adams is fouled. The flying freshman off the bench for Auburn. Out of Houston.
Yes, he is absolutely going to be a fan favorite. I watched him play against Oklahoma State in an exhibition game. Mom was an outstanding player in high school and college, All-American, McDonald's All-American. But this young man, you know who his high school coach was? Josh Boone from UConn Husky days, and former NBA player. But he does so many things well. Great hustle guy. Can guard probably all 5 positions.
Houston will bring in his first substitute, Khalifa Sacco, 6'11", redshirt senior from Sam Houston State, replaces Tugler. Foul is on Senak as the free throws are missed, and Philip Jovic off the bench just got called for a push from the back, so his first foul.
You can do that in the Adriatic League, but you can't do it in Birmingham. Young man from Serbia.
Kelvin Sampson is howling at Senak to get back as part of the press-breaking offense. How different do you expect Houston to look from last year, 35-5 offensively with a little bit of different personnel?
Well, L.J. Cryer became a great go-to guy, even as a scoring guard. And they don't have that. And, of course, Juwan Roberts is the all-time winningest player. This is going to be a tough shot. That's not a good shot, and he got lucky. He wanted a foul. Good effort by Senak, but that's probably not a shot Kelvin wanted.
Snapped it 0 for 6 for Houston. And a deflection from Sharp with Auburn in the middle of it.
Watch this shot here by the very, very talented young freshman who could have gone anywhere in the country. And he came here knowing that at least for 1 year, he's going to be coached really hard. It's going to pay off in spades for him.
Tells you something about a kid when they've got all the offers in the world and they decide, I want to get into the Kelvin Sampson meat grinder, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, all 3 freshmen, you know, Harwell and Flemings.
Here's Hall off the side of the rim, tracked down by the freshman Flemings. 9 assists, no turnovers in the win off against Oakland Wednesday. Forces a shot here, and it's grabbed by the Texas Tech transfer Overton. He's one of the few players that has a sense of what Houston does. The only Houston loss in the Big 12 last year was at home to Texas Tech.
Yeah, now he did not play in that game, but he did play in the game in Lubbock. But he certainly knows what's in store.
Pettiford creates space.
This is so big for the Auburn Tigers. Frankly, he's been horrible for 3 games, at least by his standards. He's so talented.
Sharp into Overton. Step back 2. Rolls it out. And a foul will go against Houston. Relief is Sacco. And illegal rebounding position is first.
Let's go back and watch. Watch the step back right here. Great footwork. This is kind of reminiscent of what we saw last year from Tahad. And in talking to associate head coach Ira Bowman, a young guy I recruited many years ago who recruited this guy out of New Jersey, he said last year it was easy for him because he was never he'd never had a target on his back because of Janai Broom, Denver Jones. So he's got to get used to that. He's going to see that kind of target every night in the SEC.
When you're preseason first-team All-SEC after a league that was maybe the best league in the history of college basketball, the target's on.
But he looks engaged.
Pettifer, right elbow. Couldn't hit the fadeaway shot. Sacco with the board. Isaiah Harwell, the freshman, is in for Houston wearing number 1. Another part of this great class. Sets up Chase McCarty for 3. And the putback, no, by a crashing Harwell.
I'll tell you, Houston's missed about 6 of those.
Paul with a screen from Jovic is foul. Surprising, it took nearly 7 minutes for Keyshawn Hall to get to the line where he's attempted 34 free throws in his first 3 games.
This young man, you give him a lot of credit. He was an unknown quantity coming out of Cleveland. This is his 4th school in 4 years. And each year he's gained. Of course, he's lost 50 pounds since high school. But Kevin, you're right. He's going to be a bucket all year because you can count on him when the shots aren't going down from the field to get to the foul line. He was a really good player last year at UCF where he led the Big 12 in scoring.
Not only does he get to the line, he hits it. He's 33 for 36. And he has given Auburn the lead at 10-9. Only 7 minutes gone by. 2 of the final 4 teams from a season ago. Auburn lost to Florida in the national semis. Houston lost to Florida 65-63 in the national championship. Uzan on the cross. McCarty, a really good shooter who redshirted a year ago. Auburn has been engaged defensively so far. Harwell through the shoot. It's Uzan. It's a miss. And a high-pointed rebound by Jovic is ripped away by Sharp. Auburn has the arrow. Great effort on both sides, and this has been a very engaging start for Stephen Pearl's Tigers.
I'll tell you what, that was a great play by Sharp. Watch Jovic now. He's played with a lot of older players, but I guarantee you, he doesn't see this very often. Great effort by both players.
Sebastian Williams-Adams said before the Wofford game, I know that right now defensively, and I'm quoting him, we're not worth squat. They've been worth a lot more than squat today, but they just turned it over. Flemings is fouled. And Pettifer on the body. Williams-Adams from behind. It'll be Tahad Pettifer's first foul. Well, this is new territory for Houston, the number 2 recruiting class in the country, according to Jeff Borzello, right behind Duke, right ahead of John Calipari in Arkansas. Kentucky's on that list, Connecticut. Those are the programs you typically see year in and year out, the coaches that recruit these great classes. But Houston has brought in its highest ranked recruiting class since recruiting rankings were a thing ever.
Well, they're the winningest program in college basketball since 17-18. And all 3 of these young men are going to play in the NBA at some point. Somebody's without a shoe right now in the lane. But I admire these guys because they knew they were going to coach hard. This kid can shoot it.
It's Tugler without a shoe. It's a rebound for Flemings. Jovic tried to hold him from behind. He did hold him illegally. That's going to be the 2nd foul on Philip Jovic. Well, tonight at ESPN, the ESPN app, UNLV Memphis and Miami against the aforementioned Florida Gators. Great college basketball triple header. That nightcap is in Jacksonville between the Hurricanes and Gators. It's all on ESPN and the ESPN app. Jovic is off the floor with 2 fouls for Auburn. 10-10 game. Houston shooting at just 4 for 17. Auburn 3 for 15. Here's Flemings. Gets a good look and hits. He's got 5.
Great two-man game right there by JoJo Tugler. He and Flemings playing a little handoff game. And nicely done by the freshman. He's a terrific athlete. He's got great confidence, but with a large dose of humility. And if you come to Houston, just to reiterate the point, and play as a superstar top high school player, you better come with humility.
Paul trying to cross his way past the freshman Harwell. Made it tough on him. Wedged the ball in, and the arrow goes to Houston. Houston doing what they do defensively with a wedgie to boot.
Way he's improved over the course of his career.
You and Keyshawn ever go head-to-head in Fortnite?
I was not in any battle royales, I cannot say.
I knew you'd have something. Here's McCarty. That 3-ball ribs around and out. Houston is 5 for 16. It's a very Houston type of game right now for the nation's best defensive team over the past 6 years or so.
Well, they're not making shots they normally make. They've missed some at the rim.
Here's the freshman Williams Adams. Plows over Chase McCarty after the foul. That's McCarty's second off the bench.
It's hard to say Sebastian Williams Adams, so his teammates call him Sway. SWA.
His mom, Karima, you mentioned.
Yeah.
Played at North Carolina, played at Wichita State, a 21-point-per-game scorer. In 1992 was Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year as a senior. So very good basketball bloodlines for mom.
No question. Yeah. Great high school player in the city of Wichita.
Remember, this is an Auburn team that scored 93 points or more in all 5 games so far, including the 2 exhibitions against Oklahoma State and Memphis. They are at 12 through 9 minutes and 16 seconds. But they've only allowed 12.
Now, this is something you'll see more of from this Auburn team. More zone. It's a 1-1-3.
Flemings breaks it, sets up Harwell. Good look for 3. And Murphy with a rebound. Up the floor, here's the freshman Caden Magwood getting his first minutes. Freeman drives. Freeman lays it in.
That's what he does. He is a slasher.
He was a rail splitter at Lincoln Memorial, and he plays like a rail splitter. Nearly took it away, and he's called for a foul well out top. It's Auburn's 6th of the half.
This is something that he does really, really well. He's about 6'7". Watch him get downhill to the rim. And a good finish right there. Young man from South Florida. No D1 offers. His coach at Lincoln Memorial, Jeremiah Samaripis, told us earlier in the week, the town, Harrodsville, is like 5,000 people. If you go play at Lincoln Memorial, basically the only thing you can do is just live in the gym. And that's what this kid did.
Well, Steve Pearl said he's getting some NBA interest already.
He is.
6'8".
Yep. Nice drop off.
Sinak scores it. Fleming's a freshman. Set him up.
Kingston so quick off the dribble. Good job right there getting deep into the lane.
3 assists, no turnovers for Flemings, who's now got 17 assists, 4 turnovers on the year. Hall is fouled. What else is new? That's the 6th and a half on Houston.
Watch the quick first step right here. Drives that closeout, brings it big to him. And Sinak with the finish. We watched Sinak get, I guess you could just say, yelled at today at practice. Never changed his expression. No bad body language. And he's going to be a joy to coach at the next level because he'll come into the NBA already have been coached hard.
Magwood rejected by Tugler's second block of the game. Magwood gets it back, throws it away from Murphy, who saves it behind the back. And then Magwood tries to shoot a 3 over Sinak. It's rejected. It's Hall who finally finishes. Houston's relentlessness gets the putback from Keyshawn Hall.
If Keyshawn Hall gets the ball that deep, it is over, and I don't care who you are. He just knows how to operate in the paint. Look at that speed.
Head check foul. That'll send Flemings to the line for a 1-and-1. It's on Magwood.
Well, you got to fight fire with fire when you play Houston. They're the bully on the block. You got to throw some punches too. Watch Hall inside battle. And that's his game right there, folks. He can hit the three, good in the mid-range, but around the basket, getting himself out. He's going to be a problem this year in the SEC, the way he was last year in the Big 12.
1 for Kingston Flemings. He was 2 for 3 at the line today.
You know, it's a great year for freshmen in college basketball. By the way, A.J. DeBanza last night, he had a game for the ages, but this young man, I don't care where he gets drafted. I'm not into the draft right now. It's November, but he is underrated as a pro prospect. He has great speed. I stood next to him the other day on Wednesday at practice. He's 6'4", with that great athleticism.
It's wingspan. It's a lot longer than 6'4".
That's exactly right.
The freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, puts Auburn back on top. Flemings on the floor with Uzan, Sharp, Sinak, and Tugler. Houston starting 5. Uzan has struggled to shoot the 3 early. Here's Elijah Freeman.
Houston is they're taking good shots, but they're quick shooting also. They don't necessarily want to play an up-tempo game.
All have
good
the
pass.
Seal. Sharp took it away. It was a good pass until Sharp closed.
Exactly. They double-teamed with what they call the monster.
Sharp with a blow-by. And a strong attack goes right into Murphy, who picks up his first on today's broadcast. Todd Pettiford.
Yeah.
Ira Bowman. And Hidalgo. Fran Fraschillo.
Yeah. Here,
New Jersey adjacent. Sharp nearly with a steal after going 1 for 2 at the line. Auburn leads by 2. Both teams are shooting 6 for 22. Overton turns it over. Here's Uzan, who's had a slow shooting start. He is 0 for 3. He's missed a couple of 3-pointers.
He's off to a slow start this season as well behind the arc.
Uzan, who decided to pull his name out of the draft, returned to Houston. Into Sinak, the freshman. Another tough shot. This one goes as well. Chris Sinak with 8.
I just love this kid's energy. He came to Houston with a reputation of not always going hard. But like I told you, I've watched him practice 3 or 4 times. I think he's got a great future here for the rest of the season.
Overton gets away from the double team. Sets up Freeman. A step back 3 is no good. Knocked out of the air to JoJo Tugler, and here come the Cougars trying to retake the lead. Under 7 to play in this first half. Tugler not a shooting threat. Gives it back to the freshman Harwell. Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Utah, Harwell. Flemings was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Texas. Uzan a 3. That one's no good as well. And then a little silly reaching foul. I think it was JoJo Tugler. It is his second. And that's going to send Kelvin Sampson over the edge with 6.5 to go in the first.
There have been 3 or 4 possessions where we've tried to figure out for Houston who is the go-to guy. Early in the game, it's actually been the freshman Sinak. See the nice turnaround right here. But some of those half-court possessions so far for Houston have been bogged down, and all I can think of is where's Shed, where's Cryer? And LJ became a guy that you could put it in his hands late in the shot clock and could get you a bucket last year. And early in the season, I'm in the first tough game of the season for Houston. I'm not seeing that right now.
On the one, Overton hits the first. Well, let's fast forward to February or March. Who will be the guy? Who's going to be their LJ Cryer? Who's going to be their Marcus Sasser, their Jamal Shed when they need that guy with 2 minutes to go?
The guy most suited to do that in February is Kingston Flemings, because he's athletic. He gets to the rim and breaks the defense down and can deliver to his teammates, and he can go get his own. And it may be early, And he's feeling his way, but that's the guy that I think Kelvin will eventually either creates at the end of a shot clock.
A little different than Sharp, because Sharp's a great scorer, but Sharp is more of a spot shooter.
Catch and shoot, yep. He'll get downhill some, but not the way Shed did.
Sanak line drives in another. He's living life at the foul line. Sanak is 5 for 6, and we're tied at 21.
This is good for him. This is really good for him.
Number 6 overall recruit in the country, top center. Steal. There's Khalifa Sacco in the game for Tugler. Harwell, good from the corner, and the Cougars take the lead.
Remember, Isaiah missed all summer workouts because of injuries, and he's probably the guy that's furthest behind of the big three, but super talented scoring guard. There you see it.
Another steal for Harwell. Sets up Uzan. Houston leads by 5, and Stephen Pearl takes a timeout. You never know when that relentless Cougar surge is going to hit. It hits Auburn hard with 5:32 in the first.
Here's getting it done. Sanak, who's got a knack. Good kick out. Harwell, the freshman. And then the steal by Harwell, which leads to an easy basket for Uzan. And Kevin, I got a chance to watch the under-19. It turned out to be the world championship team. A.J. DeBanza, Koa Pete, Marez Johnson. This young man, Chris Sanak, could have and maybe should have made the team. The best thing that happened to him is he got cut, because that meant he went back to Houston for the next month. And rather than beating Finland or Greece by 30 or 40 over in Lausanne, Switzerland, he went back into the gym in Houston, and I think it made him a better player.
One of a 7-0 Houston run as Pettiford gets fouled. Milos Uzan with his second foul, and Pettiford's fouled shooting at 3.
Tell you, the Cardinals sin defensively. I don't care how good you are, you don't want to foul a jump shooter. Let's just watch Pettiford right here. Yeah, now the only thing I'll tell you, it's close. And it happened last night in the BYU game, and I'm going to tell the officials listening, you got to call the leg kick out, folks, okay? The leg kick out is an offensive foul. Now, that time it was close. I think Don Daly, I believe, was right on it, but it happened last night in the BYU UConn game. And I'm not a proponent of the leg kick out and the foul call on the defense.
It is Uzan's second. Flemings replaces him. Blake Michalek, junior from Dallas, right on your screen, is in for the first time for Auburn, as Pettiford hits 2 of 3. 26-23 Houston, 5:19 to go in the first. First power conference game for both teams this year.
Here's the interesting thing right now for Houston. First time all year, I think, well, at least in a big game, because it's the biggest game of their season, that 3 freshmen are on the court right now. That's a foul.
And Michalek right into the game. Hit Flemings near the head. That's the 9th in the half. So it'll be 1-1 for Flemings, and then 2 shots the rest of the way.
And honestly, Kevin, this is how you go. Alabama, Arizona, UConn are playing, and others are playing a great schedule. And for these 3 freshmen to be out here in front of this incredible crowd is going to help them come January and February.
About 17,600 the capacity
Amazing.
here. There are probably about 17,600 fans here.
And they were here 20 minutes before tip-off.
This is where Houston played and beat Auburn in the NCAA tournament round of 32 2 years ago.
Violation.
And violation will get Flemings a second opportunity.
Now, Alabama, I'm going to watch them practice tomorrow. They're coming off Purdue. They go to Illinois. They've got Arizona coming in here to Birmingham.
You're amazing. You take it days off for 8 months straight and then no days off for 4 months straight.
I'm an empty nester now. So the wife says, you don't have to come home right away. But I'll enjoy watching
that little nudge is all you need.
Nate Oates, I'll watch them tomorrow because I will see them in December right here against Arizona.
What a schedule they're playing. Yeah. Overton. 2 deep. 3. Rebound to Isaiah Harwell. Let's see what Houston can do with a 5-point lead and under 5 to go in the first half. Can they stretch this out with the freshman? Kinston Flemings up to 11.
I love watching him, man. He's quietly confident. You talk to him, he's low-key, doesn't say a lot, but he's a killer.
Auburn's going to make a couple of subs at the next dead ball. Murphy.
He's getting fouled.
Hall. Oh, that's a goaltend against Khalifa Sacco. That'll be 2 points for Hall. He's got 8.
Watch how high Sacco gets right here. It's ball on the way down. It is. Easy call.
Well, it appeared it was going to be rather short. 6'11" senior, still a little raw from France. Started playing at age 15.
He's only going to spend 1 year here, but it's like in the NBA, you pick up the free agent veteran backup big man.
But they think they're deeper this year, Houston. Just not sure yet how the big man depth is going to look. They've got Sacco, Cedric Lott plays some. Flemings with a couple of misses here. That's out of bounds to Houston. They're also waiting on Jacob McFarland back from injury. Cougars have the ball up 5.
About it, obviously the veterans and the freshmen, but I think the defense obviously carries the way for this Houston team, and it has forever.
I love when Studio sets up the graphic real quickly. Huck said, and Seth said 21 points for those two, 11 points off turnovers, and there you have it. Auburn's shooting is 28%. As Hall is fouled, and Hall grabs his left leg. And he appears to be okay, Keyshawn Hall. Isaiah Hartwell picks up his first.
Guess where Keyshawn's going?
Well, it's the day of the week that ends in Y, so probably the foul line.
What is it? Over 10 a game coming in, right?
34 in 3 games, 31 for 34. He's 2 for 2 today.
So that's over 11 a game by my elementary school math. Coming in.
How about the disparity? Keyshawn Hall in Auburn's first 3 games had attempted 34 free throws. Auburn's 3 opponents combined had attempted 43.
They were at Neville. Nev said no. The competition had a lot to do with that, obviously.
And they did struggle in the first game, but Phil Cookman took them to overtime. Got 3 free throws late. Then they blew out Merrimack and Wofford. They'll stay in the bottom of the rankings here, number 22. They win this game, they'll vault up. Houston and Auburn meeting for the 3rd consecutive season.
And once again, the 3 freshmen are out there together.
Sharp with a step back. Good defense there.
Yeah, that's what Pettiford does.
Flemings off of his right leg, delivers another. Flemings.
You believe me that I think he'll be the go-to guy in January and February? He just has a knack of being able to create his own and make sure his teammates get fed. And he does it effortlessly, although seemingly effortlessly. Nice pass.
Murphy skips it. Over to Murphy.
Keyshawn Murphy, great short roll, caught it under control. With that size, he was able to locate the open man.
A Birmingham native, Keyshawn Murphy, with a great assist. And the offensive foul turns it back to the Tigers.
That's not the big man's fault.
Illegal screen on Sacco. He gets called for it. It's his 2nd.
When you set that screen the way he did, the offensive player with the ball has got to wait for the big to be set. He comes running up like he's taught. And Kelvin, I don't know if he wanted a go screen there where the screener doesn't make contact. But more often than not, the man with the ball has got to wait till the screener is set.
Only the 3rd turnover of this first half for Houston. Sacco stays in with 2. Tugler has 2 on the bench. Pettiford skips for Hall. Off the shot fake. Hall. Murphy.
Beautiful.
Tyson.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, Keyshawn Hall set that all up.
Delvin Sampson will take a timeout once Flemings crosses half court. Nothing. You can hear the whistle. Back at 30 in a 32 all time.
Don't let congestion take over. Afrin No Trip. Wow! Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief. The wow is real.
And now, try new drug-free Afrin Saline.
Fairlife Chocolate Ultra Filtered Milk brightens all your holiday traditions. With 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a delicious taste, Fairlife makes any moment magical. Fairlife.
3 straight makes for Auburn. A couple of terrific assists. Keyshawn Murphy, then Keyshawn Hall to set up buckets.
You see the closeout on the freshman. That allows Hall to get into the paint and find Murphy inside. He's such a threat to score. That makes him more of a threat to drop off those dimes to the big fella Murphy. And for the first time this season, season's early, for Houston, a little bit of adversity. You've got 2 starters on the bench with 2 fouls each. You're playing 3 freshmen. Mercy Miller now in the game, who in a sense is a freshman, didn't play a lot last year. This is a good test. And Auburn's been feisty.
This is why these teams wanted this game.
No doubt about it.
Miller, Fleming, shot fake. A 2. He's fouled and he scores it. He was not fouled, actually. Fleming thought he was. He glared over at Marcus Pettigrew, but he has 15 now.
It looked like he might have kicked his leg out, which is why Marcus may not have called it. But absolutely great performance in the first half by Kingston Flemings. He's keeping, and Sinak are keeping this team in the game.
Flemings has the last 8. Hall 3. Rebound Murphy.
Good block out by Murphy. He blocked him in.
Here's a 3 for Freeman. This kid can really shoot it. And Auburn has taken the lead back in his topsy-turvy first half. Isaiah Harwell. Fouled by Hall with a late whistle. It's Keyshawn Hall's second. And Isaiah Harwell will shoot 2.
Now the freshman Fleming's putting on a show right here. Nice stop and pop. He did kick his leg out, which is why there was no foul call. And then Elijah Freeman, the young man, the transfer, D2 transfer. Nice stroke. We talked about the slashing ability. And we also told you that last year at Lincoln Memorial, he lived in the gym, and you can tell with that stroke.
Harwell hits the first. France, 16 of the last 18 Houston points have come from freshmen.
It's interesting because Kelvin is lamenting all year in the preseason about our freshmen are not going to win games for us. It's going to be the veterans. But I honestly think a lot of that is just coach speak. I think he wanted to make sure that his freshmen know what's at stake in games like this.
I think the philosopher king of college basketball has an ulterior motive.
Absolutely.
Freeman, long step through, throws it on the rim, grabbed by Sinak. Houston's been a little smaller here with Sacco and Tugler out of the game. Sinak at the foul. Sharp, the one veteran on the floor with a slithery drive, rebounded by Hall.
Not a good shot. That was basically a 2-for-1 type shot.
Hall will back it out. 40 seconds of a good first half, which has featured 9 ties and 8 lead changes. Actually, 10 ties and 8 lead changes. Pettiford. 6 to shoot it.
Watch the step back.
He stepped way back now. Murphy.
Nice.
Cuts for Freeman. Couldn't get it off.
Oh, man.
Miller was over there at the end of the shot clock. It'll be a violation, and Houston ball with 19.7 to go.
Pettiford did a great job of drawing the double team and the blitz on the pick and roll. Murphy caught it. Great dish inside. It happened a little late, and we went off. We had the shot clock go off. And a terrific defensive play by Mercy Miller.
Don Daly's going to check the time here. Marcus Pettigrew explains to us the officials want to make sure the ball didn't hit out of bounds before the shot clock expired.
That's right. And this is not a coach's challenge right here. The officials can go to the monitor on a time
left, I think. Yep. About half a second.
On the shot clock?
On the shot clock.
All right, so that means that ball was deflected by Houston. When it hits out of bounds is when the clock stops. And I think you might be right, Kevin.
For once.
Clock stops.
Certainly 0.6 on the shot clock, 20.3 on the game clock.
Now, what's interesting about this, 0.6 does give you time for catch and shoot. So let's see Both of these teams have always been good in special situations. Let's see what Auburn's got.
Now, if this was Bruce Pearl, what kind of play would you expect?
Well, I
Auburn to draw?
think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I think Stevens got something set up here. Let's see. Now, remember, Houston's going to put their biggest guy on the ball. There you see Bruce watching. So this has to be catch and shoot or lob at the rim. Watch Pettiford come off a screen to the corner. Let's see.
Freeman lobs it in.
It's a lob.
He got it on the rim. And it's taken down by Sinak. This team has used the timeout. Houston will attempt to hold for the final shot.
I think we got an idea who the go-to guy is for Houston.
Fleming's three. He does end the half with an 18-point performance.
He was #1 at the scouting report. I think you look at what he did last year on the road at Houston. Houston was very good at home. Auburn went in there and beat them. And off the bench, Tahad Pettiford had 21 points in that game. I think in this game, Coach, in the second half, he's going to have to make some individual plays because Houston will take you out of running your offensive sets. He's going to have a big second half, and we know he's capable of it. He went on the road last year as a freshman and put up 21 points.
How about Kingston Fleming? Are you kidding me? 18 points in the first half. His ability to get the ball anywhere he wants, anytime he wants, his ability to finish, make plays for others. He was impressive. Another incredibly talented freshman.
I was going to say, it's time we add another face to that list of outstanding freshmen, many of whom we'll see at the Champions Classic. We'll have more on that on the way. But first, when we come back, we'll recap a thriller in Boston last night. UConn, BYU, down to...
Just as we said, Kevin Brown, Fran Fraschilla, it's going to be the youth of Houston and the experienced players for Auburn that will dictate this first half. We were all over it.
We got it wrong. Because as much grief as Kelvin Sampson gives those young freshmen in practice, he turns the training wheels, takes them off, and Kingston Flemings did not let him down. 18 points, 3 assists, most importantly, no turnovers. That's the dagger at the end of the half. And then you throw in the big fella, Sinak, who we watched him today, and he was all over Chris about playing hard, and he has showed up and played hard. They've got 28 points between them, and if you throw in the 5 from Isaiah Harwell, 33 from that freshman class, getting a taste of why everybody was so high on that team. And then the guy, you talk about veterans, this guy's a veteran. He scores like he breathes. 10 points, but a warrior inside, and he's keeping the Tigers in this ball game. And I got to tell you, I like the fight from Stephen Pearl's team.
Yeah, he said they played hard for about 30 minutes against Wofford Tuesday. He said great teams need to play hard for 40 minutes. Well, Houston and Auburn each played hard for 20. And we'll see who has the edge in the second half. Cougars lead by 4, 10 ties, 8 lead changes in the first real test for these two Final Four teams from a season ago. Second half starts with a missed 3 from Tahad Pettiford, who had 8.
Tahad is, they want to get him going, and he has to get going for this team to reach its potential this season.
Houston's 3 returning starters, Uzan, Tugler, and Sharp, were very quiet, combined for just 6 in that first half. It's Sinak off the feed from Tugler, and another freshman bucket for Houston in a 6-point lead.
We talk about JoJo's defense, but he was in foul trouble, but an excellent passer and a great setup.
It does it for Sinak, averaging 8 a game in his first 3. Deshaun Murphy looking inside. On the floor with Pettiford, Overton, Freeman, and Hall, the Auburn starting 5. Here's Freeman. Gets it through to Overton. His second 3.
That's the second time in this game we've seen that cross-court pass away from all that help in the lane on those black jerseys. Good recognition.
41-38 Houston. Here's Tugler, who had foul trouble in the first half, missed all 5 of his shots. Fleming's on the accelerator, missed it. Sinak in between 2 Tigers is able to maintain Houston possession.
Let's take a look right here. Watch the cut down the lane by Sinak. The ball's going to go inside, and nobody picks up Sinak. That's just a breakdown right there. What a great find by Joe Tugler.
Tugler operating again, looking for a Fleming's handoff. Pettiford got in his grill. Sharp instead. Tuck 2. Gets it to go. Emmanuel Sharp with 6.
That's where he's continued to improve. You think of him as a three-point shooter, but mid-range and getting to the rim. Of course, he's built like a linebacker, so that's not necessarily a surprise.
Overton again. Good three-point shooters. Hit 2 from out there. Pettiford lost his dribble on the double. Weaves it inside to Hall. Reverse layup won't go.
Watch the speed here, Kevin.
Senak set up for 3. He got it.
I'll tell you what, man.
Chris Senak Jr. is 7 for 9.
What I love about the young man is the criticism he's taken in the past about not playing hard. And then he chooses to come to a coach who's going to make sure he does. And you're unlocking that terrific potential for a guy his size.
Danger zone here for Auburn.
Yeah, and the thing he does best is the rebounding.
Largest lead for
nice.
Houston. Pettiford cuts into it.
Beautiful, beautiful little slow Euro step right there. Tahan has got to get going.
He's a second timer into double figures. Sharp miscommunication with Flemings. And Houston's 4th turnover.
Well, you're going to give Chris Senak this shot. This is going to be a big weapon for him someday when he becomes a professional player. But the confidence, and then I love this move. Watch the slow down. Good step through. 10 years ago, they would have called that a travel, but no longer.
A rail-splitting, thunderous finish from Elijah Freeman.
Remember, folks, this kid did not have a Division I scholarship 2 years ago. He spent last year at Lincoln Memorial, a Division II power. He was so good, the floodgates opened from Division I offers. And Auburn's got themselves a keeper.
A foul against Senak to boot. Freeman can't complete the three-point play, but Overton is fouled on the rebound. And Senak, who committed the previous foul, was in there, but it's Uzan for his 3rd. No, but Sampson's going to make... Well, no, he's not. He had Chase McCarty at the scores table.
Yeah, I think he's going to bring,
back.
He's going to bring a guard in. Yeah, he's going to bring a guard in if he comes in for Uzan. That was the discrepancy. I'm not sure Kelvin knew who had the 3rd foul.
Isaiah Harwell.
And he's going to get
in there for Uzan.
My bad, Kev.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Kelvin Sampson didn't realize that. I think you're right, Fran, thought it was on Senak. In the Hall, trying to drive over. Score instead, right over the top of Harwell. It's a 4-point possession.
I love watching him play. He knows how to score.
Sharp, a deep one. Rebound, Tugler. Knocked away by Pettiford, who throws it to Senak. And there's a whistle, and it's going to be Auburn ball.
That might be on Tugler.
It is his 3rd.
Yep.
In the scrum, JoJo Tugler with his 3rd foul, just moments after Uzan's 3rd. Kelvin Sampson was so frustrated with JoJo Tugler on Wednesday against Oakland. He picked up 2 fouls. He said, I don't care if it's the first 2 possessions of the game. I won't play you again. And he's got 3 here, but he'll stay in the game early in the half as Freeman attacks it. Nice. Freeman inside Tugler. No foul and no basket. Good defense by Tugler in that foul trouble situation. And then he gets the feed from Flemings and the flush.
Well, I'm not sure how Kingston Flemings saw Tugler run down the lane, but as soon as he located him, he dropped it right on him. I like the play by Freeman to go at Tugler with 3. He almost picked up that 4th foul.
Well, then Houston's going to get Tugler out of the game at the next whistle. Sacco to the scorers table. 4-point lead for Houston. Overton goes down by Sharp. Overton, the left-handed drive, and fouled by Sharp, his 1st. Houston is racking him up early. 4 fouls in the first 4+ minutes of the second half. And a 4-point lead, but Elijah Freeman has delivered. 53-52. They're trying to take down #1 Houston in the second weekend of the season. And they are within 2 on a bucket from Keyshawn Hall, who's got 14.
Good recognition by Auburn. They double-teamed in the post because of a mismatch with the little guy inside, and the ball really sung from side to side.
Sharp driving. Sharp floats it home. Emmanuel Sharp with a couple of second-half buckets pushes the lead back to 4.
Constant development of his offensive game. The mid-range pull-up and now the floater. And obviously, we know he can shoot the 3-ball. Good answer. This, you know, every close game has momentum shifts, and it just feels like Auburn is gaining momentum.
Feels like it more now as Murphy is fouled. Houston has Milos Uzan on the bench with 3 fouls. JoJo Tugler on the bench with 3 fouls, and they are about to have Chris Sinak Jr. pick up a 3rd foul.
And right now, Emmanuel Sharp is coaching his 3 freshmen in the transfer. Because of that last defensive breakdown, this is probably the first time in his career he's had this many young guys on the court with him at one time.
SEC Network Wednesday night. It's a women's men's doubleheader. #2 South Carolina coming off a win over USC. Host Winthrop and women's hoops at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Followed by these Auburn Tigers in a men's basketball game against Jackson State at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. SEC Network and the ESPN app. Free throws are split by Keyshawn Murphy. Homecoming for him. Played at MC High School. Final Fours, which were right here in this building, Legacy Arena.
He was not recruited by Auburn. They just didn't have room for him at the time, so he percolated for a number of years over in Starkville.
Sinak is off the floor with those 3 fouls. Chase McCarty replaces him. Houston deeper into the bench, up 3. Corner 3 is short from McCarty. Tipped out to Sharp. Shot ready. In and out. McCarty crashed in the glass. Ball was right behind Sacco. He didn't see it. Here comes Hall. Here's Pettiford. Missed it. But Overton's there. He misses another. And the ball is loose. Overton's on the floor. So is Murphy. Auburn looking for a timeout. It's a held ball. And Houston and Harwell have it.
That's the kind of effort we expected today. Got a player down.
That's Overton who's helped up.
Now Kevin is he's a 2-time transfer. Watch the action inside now. Everybody battling Kevin out of Oklahoma City. This is his 3rd school, and he's been to the NCAA tournament at Drake and at Texas Tech. And you see the tie-up right there.
Saw Overton.
He got upset.
His face.
He was playing at Tech last year. He got upset with me because I called him a great role player. I don't know why that would be a pejorative, because I tell these college kids, you know what they call a role player in the NBA?
Multi-millionaire.
A multi-millionaire. Do what you do well, and he's a great defender and a good open shooter.
Played for a great Texas Tech team last year. An Auburn team that returned almost nothing from a year ago. Pettiford, the only player to make a start. So Overton gets a big responsibility. Here's Harwell on the handoff.
Notice who's not on the floor for Houston at the end of the clock? Kingston Flemings.
Hall crosses over. Hall leads in. There's a late foul. It's a block. Chase McCarty with Houston's 6th foul of the half, and Auburn has not committed a foul in the second half.
Let's watch McCarty right now.
Well, he was outside the restricted area, but
I think he was there.
Says it's a
I thought he was there. Kelvin did too, but and he's telling Don Daly right now that same thing.
He did not point to the restricted area, Don Daly. He just said that was a block.
Yep.
Kelvin has a varying thought. Hall hits the first. That's a 3rd foul on McCarty. So Houston is in a world of foul trouble. McCarty and Uzan are in the game with 3. Sinak, Tugler are out of the game with 3. Still 13:32 to go.
Yeah, and because Keyshawn Hall is going to be one of the leading scorers in the SEC, he's going to have some games where he goes 5 for 18 from the field, but 14 for 16 from the line. He's going to always put up good numbers.
5 for 14 today, but 6 for 6 at the line. He's got 16.
Zone now again. Looks to be a zone.
Delayed by Tahad Pettiford. Stay with Houston, 17 to shoot. (32-6) Auburn team a year ago. Houston went 35-5. The champions of the SEC, the champions of the Big 12. Both made it to the Final Four. Both lost there to Florida. Uzan is fouled, the first and a half against Auburn, and Milos Uzan will shoot 2.
Good piece of officiating right there. Looked like Don Daly processed that, made sure there was plenty of contact, and then blew the whistle a half-second late. I've said it many times, I don't mind that.
There he is, Kingston Flemings.
Yep.
And that was Hall's third foul for Auburn. No signs of going to the bench for him.
And I would say this, Kevin. You know, we've really highlighted the freshmen of Houston today. First of all, Auburn's playing #1 in the country, and they're really playing well. And the thing that I'm watching Stephen Pearl right now, and there's not a lot of difference between a Bruce Pearl team and a Stephen Pearl team. And I talked to Bruce about this a few weeks ago, and he said the only regret I have is I didn't leave him the kind of team that we had last year. Because in some ways, even though they're 22nd in the country, it's an almost near total rebuild. And I would say that things look up for Auburn this season based on the way they're competing today.
Murphy on the block. Murphy against Sacco. Spin around. Too deep. And Sharp goes over the top to get the rebound. Sharp feeds Flemings. Flemings into Sacco. Reset to Sharp. With 15 to shoot. Sharp. Pettiford tried to draw an offensive foul there. The ball's grabbed by Sacco. Flemings. Sharp. 3. Yes! Sensational ball movement by the Cougs.
That's what you call good, better, best. Uzan could line it up, swung it to Flemings, and then the open man and the best shooter on that group got the ball off that delivery from the freshman.
7 of his 11 in the second half. Houston leads by 6. Freeman lost his footing. Up ahead, it's Flemings, who's going to hold on. Feed Sharp. In and out on another three-point try. And then Harwell gets called. Actually, no. Harwell draws a foul against Auburn to keep it here, as Houston has stretched the lead to 6 and has the ball. With Rick Barnes, John Calipari, and Bill Self. He's now at 802. He's 3 away from Rick Byrd. He's 17th all time, and he's got 802 of the 805 wins in this head coaching battle. Stephen Pearl is still learning, friend. You can understand what it's like as a young head coach. How much time does it take to get your feet set?
You know, it's funny. The first game I ever coached at Manhattan College was against Butch Van Bredikoff, who had 1,500 wins when I coached him. Nice shot right there. He had been the coach at Princeton, Bill Bradley. He coached the Lakers. I coached against him in my first game at Manhattan when he was at Hofstra. I was scared to death in the locker room before the game. I said, if coaching has anything to do with this, we're screwed. My team was better. We won by 20. But you're still nervous. There's one right there. There'll be a guy, this young man, as we talked about, is going to be a terrific player. Sebastian Williams Adams. Sway. Little zone now. Looks like a 1-3-1, but it's really a 1-1-3. Turns into a 2-3. And you got to get that ball going side to side if you're Houston right now. They haven't done it yet.
Fleming scoreless in the half. Does have 3 assists, and that's not going to be one. Kingston Flemings just a second turnover in the last 2 games.
They started too late. They started the offense way too late. They kept the ball on one side of the floor, and you're not going to attack a zone unless you stretch it side to side.
11 to play here at Legacy Arena.
Nice.
Sold out Birmingham.
Nice.
Pettiford really moves to draw Auburn within 4. He's got a dozen.
That's that Jersey City stuff right there on the playgrounds.
Stephen Pearl said, I like the shots he's been taking. And he's liked them more today. The more got in.
See, once again, they're keeping the ball on one side. And it's going to turn into one-on-one.
Uzan high off the window. Great answer.
That's okay when they go in.
Milos Uzan with 6 of his 8 in the second half. Back to a 6-point Cougar lead. Overton for 3. He's fouled. The second time Houston has fouled a three-point shooter.
Let's go back and watch Pettiford split the trap, and then a little dipsy-do with the nice footwork, and then Los Uzan downhill. Watch him get it high on the backboard. Little wrong foot runner right there, off balance. We call that organized off balance because you get guards that practice that move now, shooting off what we used to say was the wrong foot, but very common now.
Kevin Overton, 6'5" junior. Misses the first of three. Auburn is 13 for 19. They've left some points out there at the line. Don't forget, coming up after our game right here on ESPN, also on the ESPN app, UNLV and Memphis Tigers, a 5 seed and the American champions last year with a remade roster for Penny Hardaway. Then the defending champion Florida Gators take on Miami at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. ESPN and the ESPN app.
First time in the second half I've seen the 5 starters back for Houston because of the foul trouble. Great rebound right there by JoJo Tugler, who's had a quiet night, having been in foul trouble.
Overton just 1 for 3. Big missed opportunity for Auburn. As we near the midway point of this second half, Houston has led it pretty much the whole second half. Uzan sets up Sinak. His second three.
That's awesome. That is big time. Can't be more impressed with this young man. Came in tonight. You ready for this? From behind the arc, 2 for 8. He's got the reputation of having that stretch big range, but it hadn't happened early in the season against inferior competition.
Pettiford answers.
Yep.
That's 3 threes for Pettiford. And a game-high 15 for him.
This is the best I think he's played this year. I think he's played nonchalant. Myself, defensively, he was awful in a number of games either, but they cannot win without this kind of performance from Tahad.
Levings deflected. And Sway saves it, and it's thrown away by Jovic. Nine minutes to play. Houston by 5. Sharp 3-ball. No good. Overton wants to go downhill into 2 Cougars. That's a difficult shot.
See that rebound that Sinak just grabbed? I don't know if we'll keep that on tape, but that's why he will play in the NBA. It's not the outside shooting. That rebound out of his area was incredible. And nobody will notice except the 23 scouts that are here tonight.
He's got 18 and 8. Kevin Sampson said he's got 1 elite skill, and that's it.
Yep.
Uzan off the bounce from Tugler. Too strong. Williams-Adams lost the rebound. Freeman's got it. Auburn's going to bring Hall back in at the next whistle. He has 16. Pettiford 15. Pettiford. Guarded by Uzan. 10 to shoot. Pettiford, deep 3.
Probably not the shot Stephen Pearl wanted, but you got to let him try to get himself going. And that would have brought the crowd to its feet.
Sharp trying to work through a screen from Tugler. Has the mismatch against Jovic. Sharp. Spins it out. 2 players hit the ground hard now. It's Tugler and Overton crew at 6 Eastern. This feels like an old school Cowboys Raiders game, doesn't it? Houston and Auburn. Some
the
basketball and a football Sunday.
Let me hear your Chris Burke. The Raiders. Being a Jets fan forever, I hated the Raiders. Al Davis, Darryl Lamonica. Willie, old man Willie.
Being a Jets fan forever, you probably hate a lot of people.
I do. I hate myself.
Oh, for him.
I'm sticking with them.
A dark turn from Fraschilla.
I'm sticking with my Jets. We got a lot of draft picks coming up.
Yeah. Wait till next year. Was what you'll be saying next year. Overton, who just went 1 for 3, goes 1 for 2. And McCarty Got the rebound away just in time for a jump ball. That would have kept it with Auburn, which has the arrow.
Houston has not done a great job on those missed free throws. I'll tell you what, Houston looks like they're comfortable. This is a game that Auburn can steal. And I say that because they've trailed most of the second half.
Here's Tugler for two.
A time of breakdown and pick and roll coverage. Remember, Keyshawn Murphy's not practiced a lot. He's been sidelined for much of the fall.
Stuck with knee and ankle issues, among other things. Missed the last 2 games. He has the ball right now. Sanak's on the bench with 4 for Houston, and that pass somehow makes it to Overton. Murphy and Williams on a little tic-tac-toe for 2.
That was a 4-point play because it looked like a steal and a run out. And the Cougars overran the ball and gave up an easy basket.
Uzan. Sharp. Here's Tugler against Keyshawn Hall with 3 fouls. Tugler goes to work. Tugler, too strong. Rebound back to Overton.
Tugler's missed a bunch of those today.
Williams, Adams, hard charging. Murphy on the floor. Murphy in the bucket. It's down to 2. Here's Flemings. His first points of the half on a blow-by.
How fast is he? Whew. I like this big lineup for Auburn right now with Keyshawn Hall at the 3 because they're going toe-to-toe inside with what normally is a very physical Houston team.
Sharp, very physical there. Hall steps back off the push against Tugler. He looks winded after missing that shot. He's holding his face as well. Under 5.5 to play. Number 1 Houston has led the entire second half. Remember last year, Auburn made the plays down the stretch, beat Houston 74-69 in Houston.
I'd give it back to this guy and get Sharp can make a shot here against the size.
Sharp against Williams.
Nice.
Contested deuce.
Yeah, the problem with the big lineup is right there, the mismatch. Sharp felt he had the bigger fella on him, and he was able to take him right off the dribble. That's great awareness from a 5th-year senior.
An Auburn time in a row. Houston and Auburn have played in the regular season. Last year, Auburn won at Toyota Center 74-69 in Houston. This year, Houston has led the entire second half. They lead by 6 with 4:55 to play. The first real test for both these teams this year. Though Auburn did go to overtime against Bethune, but Brandon has lived up to the billing.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Auburn. Whole new team minus Pettiford. And if he gets it going, they can be very dangerous. And they have really done a great job on the glass. Look at this guy.
Hall was kept alive by Williams Adams, and now Keyshawn Hall is 2 points away from a 4th straight 20-point game to begin his Auburn career.
I'll be stunned if he's not the leading scorer in the SEC this year.
The whole SEC.
The whole SEC.
Uzan McCarty, a 3 miss. Chase McCarty still yet to score.
That's his game, and he just cannot get one to drop. I would go right at McCarty because of his ability right there.
Gets it back.
Yep.
It's takeover time.
Yep.
More free throws coming for Keyshawn Hall, who has been banged up in the second half, grabbing his right foot. Hall has been slow to get off the floor a couple of times, and he is rolling around here. Mark Pearson is the Auburn trainer in his 17th year. The Tigers are looking on after Murphy helped up Hall.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would think of doing if I was Stephen Pearl.
And this will become the under 4 timeout.
So this is the TV timeout. They caught a break because it's the TV
in the game when we went to break, but Hall is going to try to shoot these 2 free throws.
Let me surmise what might be happening. You see him come down hard. It's possible he's going to shoot the free throws because Kelvin Sampson was going to choose Keyshawn Murphy at career 62%. If he's able to make the second free throw, they can sub for him.
He's 6 for 6 today. And he certainly drills the first. He's 1 point away from a 4th straight 20-point game to start the year.
All right, so this is good coaching right here. Now, this is interesting because if he misses this, okay, here's what I love about this. Give this young man credit for coming out and making the free throws. But what I love about the coaching aspect is Auburn only has 2 team fouls, so if there was a missed free throw, which is not likely with Hall, they would have fouled immediately and got Overton in the game.
That's he lips off after hitting both free throws. He gives Auburn everything he had today, gets him to within 2. Sinak is back for Houston with 4 to play.
Auburn has the advantage in the last 4 minutes psychologically, I'm just telling you.
Ball is leaving the floor right now, going through the tunnel. Uzan down the lane, didn't hit the rim. That ball's out of bounds. It will. It's going to stay with Houston. There was a foul in there against Auburn.
And it's okay because it's only their 4th team foul.
I'm just Kevin Overton.
Kevin, I feel an Auburn run here. I really do. If Houston doesn't score in this play, this place is going to get nuts if Auburn can tie it.
Tugler is off the floor right now. Sacco on there with Sharp. Uzan, Sinak, and the freshman Flemings. Fleming, step back. Buries a jumper.
I'll tell you. Well, you always say on occasion, star is born. We knew how good he was. But 17,000 people, he's impervious to the pressure.
20 against Towson's a little different than 22 against Auburn.
No doubt.
Williams Adams not a 3. He'll track and he'll draw a foul. It's got to be on Sacco or else Sinak is out. And it's on Sinak. He's done. Sacco was trying to signal like he committed the foul to keep Sinak in the game. But Chris Sinak Jr. at 18 points and 9 rebounds fouls out of this game with 3:22 to go.
And I think what Kelvin is saying, and this is what I would be saying, the guy going to the basket is smaller than you. Don't try to block a shot. Make him score over you.
For a team that hasn't played together much, Auburn was very smart to keep attacking Sinak and Tugler and some of the players with fouls today. The problem is they are just missing free throws left and right. They're 17 for 26, 65% in a game they trail by just 4.
Got to think we'll see Tugler back in shortly. Oh boy.
2 misses from Williams Adams, who is 2 for 6.
All right, this is going to be, you're going to put the ball in Fleming's hand. I just go high pick and roll here. I wouldn't even mess around. I just go high pick and roll.
There it is. Sacco. Flemings around Murphy. He's got the big on him. The freshman Flemings on a 22-point night. Uzan pull up 3. Oh, Uzan! What a time for his first 3 of the game.
That's called winning culture right there.
Had been 0 for 3 in the first 37 minutes. Back to a 7-point lead. Murphy a handoff. Pettiford in a switch against Sacco. Pettiford, Murphy, Overton. A 3. Freeman missed it. Overton grabs it. He's got a good look. He misses a 3. It's a rebound again by Freeman. Overton into the lane, draws a foul on Sacco. He'll shoot 2 with 2:23 to go. Sacco picks up his 3rd.
What I love about this is Flemings was really under much. Flemings. He baits the defense into like, I'm going to shoot it, and then he swings it to Uzan, who has made many big shots in a year and a half at Houston.
Moved his name 1 day before the NBA deadline. They thought he could have been a 2nd-round pick somewhere, but he wasn't going to get guaranteed money. He knew what he had at Houston. He knew the chance they had this year, and they had actually picked up Pop Isaacs to play point guard, but Uzan came back. Isaacs went to Texas A&M instead, and they were happy to have their leader back.
And he got guaranteed money.
He did.
Still the new world order. So good for him.
A different kind of guaranteed money, but guaranteed all the same.
No question. Put it in the bank account the same way.
What's Auburn going to do here?
Well, they're going to press here, and they can afford to be aggressive because they're not in the bonus yet. And that's not necessarily a bad foul. And
3 to give.
Yeah, and exactly, because you might as well start to really ratchet it up, because eventually you're going to have to get to the bonus and put Houston on the line, trailing by 5 with this much time. So I would tend to stay aggressive.
Louisiana will inbound it to Sharp. Across the timeline. Houston with Rawl in a 5-point lead. 2:15 to go. They have led the entire second half. Auburn's been within 2, and here comes Hall. Back on the floor. Still moving gingerly, though.
I'm glad he's back out.
There's Flemings. The San Antonio Kid. A step back 3. Too strong. High point rebound. Williams-Adams is fouled by Tugler. His 5th.
Interesting. Really interesting. They both tangled up on that whole play. And at the end of the play, they obviously got Tugler for a little foot action here. Let's watch. You see. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Tugler got his feet tangled with Williams-Adams, and by rule, he took him down even inadvertently.
So Sinak and Tugler have both fouled out. Keyshawn Hall is trying to move around on the Auburn bench. He'll sit in between a couple of the coaches. And here's Williams-Adams, who had 2 bad misses a couple of possessions ago, and now is just 2 for 7 at the line.
And they're talking to him. But what they've done tonight that a lot of people don't do with Houston is they've done a really good job on the offensive glass.
12 offensive rebounds. Williams-Adams goes 1 for 2. And Stephen Pearl takes his 3rd timeout. 4-point game, 1:54 to go. It's 73-69. A year ago, it was 74-69 in the other direction. It was 1 year and 1 week ago today. Auburn made so many big shots down the stretch.
Yes.
Tahad Pettiford with 21, and Janai Broome and Chad Baker-Mazzara would lead Auburn to a signature win. Bruce Pearl said this is the game that set us up for our historic season.
About 3 days later, Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson, 2 close friends, talked on the phone, and Kelvin said to Bruce, only negative thing about the win for you is I don't know that you could play any better given that we're 4 months away from the Final Four. Well, the truth is, until Janai Broome got hurt for much of SEC play, they were playing better. And, of course, they did rally to be able to get to the Final Four where they succumbed to the eventual national champions, Florida. But this is, again, Kevin, this is a great game for both teams. And kudos to college basketball this year. Nate Oates, Matt Painter, Rick Barnes, John Shire for playing these kind of games early. Hey, next week out at the Players event out in Las Vegas, you're talking about great programs.
These 2 are both going to be there.
Yep. I'll be out there for a day just hanging out.
Oregon and Michigan are up for Auburn. Houston's going to play Syracuse and Tennessee, and then TBA in the 3rd game for those teams.
This is where it's nice to have the 2 co-pilots with the freshmen.
Senior Uzan.
Yep. See, they ran a little double team at the freshman.
Sacco back on the floor, wants to set the screen. Uzan won't use it. Milos Uzan out to Sharp, knocked away by Freeman. Freeman's got the ball. Overton into the teeth of the defense. Overton's fouled. It's on the floor, but it's a 2-shot foul either way. Overton can make this a 2-point game at a minute 26.
You just feel like Houston not putting the Tigers away. It has given them a chance, and I have to tell you, as good as Uzan and Sharp are, I still want the ball in the freshman's hands because you can't guard them one-on-one. We always say, let's see what Overton does. He's a great foul shooter.
By the way, that's Uzan's 4th. So Houston is on the verge of the 3rd disqualification. Overton hits the 1st.
Kevin, the reason I want it in Fleming's hands is like a big man who has to be double teamed. Fleming's one-on-one. He is going to get into the paint.
Second free throw. In and out.
Boy, I would have fouled Sacco right away.
Yes.
And they still are not near the bonus.
Sacco's a 48% foul shooter a year ago. He's on the floor because of the foul outs. And Houston takes 2nd timeout at a minute 18, up by 3. This is going to be a great escape for somebody Kelvin Sampson's Houston, the #1 team ranked in the country 2 weeks into the year. We'll see if they hold that. Purdue had a great win this week over Alabama, but this is a great test either way. They're without Joseph Tugler, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, fouled out. Chris Sinak Jr., 18-9, best game of his 4 games in college, fouled out. Keyshawn Hall doesn't appear he'll be returning. Had a double-double with 20 and 11. He left with an injury. So 3 critical players, 3 critical bigs are down for these teams down the stretch.
Now, what you got right now, you got 22 seconds, so you got to get the ball in and start your offense quickly. Auburn is likely not to foul here, but I do see some aggressive, maybe trapping pressure, especially if there's a ball screen. Do you trust the freshman to have it in his hands versus the 2 seniors? I do.
Well, when it's a freshman that Kelvin Sampson calls the most competitive player on the team, that's a different kind of freshman. He'll inbound it.
Yep.
Luzan will take it. And Flemings will take it right back.
Now Murphy's staying on Flemings, and Murphy cannot stay in front of Flemings.
This is interesting. 6'10" against the freshman. Flemings gets rid of it. And he nearly turned it over. He did turn it over. He passed out of the advantage, and Auburn can tie it.
I think Fleming should have kept the ball, waited to his turn to drive by the big guy. Instead, he advanced it to Sharp, who I don't think was ready for that pass. Critical mistakes right here. Watch the pass to Sharp, and give Freeman credit with that athleticism to jump the passing lane.
1 minute to play. 3-point game in Birmingham. Freeman looks inside. Williams-Adams. Murphy! A sway and a rim rock, and the lead is at 1. Is it really mid-November? Uzan off the screen. Uzan in trouble. Sharp with 5. Sharp lost the ball. Sharp has to hoist it. No! Auburn possession with 23 seconds to go and a chance for glory.
All right, this feels like Tahad Pettifer time. Can you stay in front of him?
Kelvin Sampson will use his 3rd timeout to spend a couple of seconds chewing into his team, a few seconds staring off into the void, and then the rest of his timeout trying to diagram some defense to stop this on-rushing Tiger Tide.
Now what happens here is they double team, but they get no rotation from the backside. Sacco, when you watch him in practice, he's still trying to figure out the defense. He comes over to double team, not realizing that there's nobody rotating down from the backside of that Houston defense, and that's inexperience. Now, I have to tell you, as good as Sharp and Uzan have been throughout their careers, they played with Shed, at least Sharp did, and they played with L.J. Cryer. I just think that throughout the season, the ball's going to have to be in Flemings' hands, and he's going to have to stay aggressive because he can break a defense down. And guess who can break a defense down? Tahad Pettifer. It's going to be his ball right now to win this game in some ways like he did a year ago when he was a freshman.
How quickly do you go if you're Auburn?
You got to go quick because you need the chance to get the offensive rebound, and if there's a miss, you're going to foul. So you attack the first good opportunity you can. Big fellas have got to be alert if you're Auburn on the dump off, because Pettifer's got the ability, we know, to get into the paint. If Stephen Pearl is going to set this up, he's going to spread it a little bit and give Pettifer to use that great footwork we've seen.
Remember, if Auburn misses, they have to foul multiple times. They have to foul 3 times to put Houston in the bonus.
That's right. Now, what I want you to watch right now is normally Kelvin Sampson has raved about Sharp on the ball as a great defender, but it's going to be the freshman. The challenge of the freshman's career is coming up right now.
Tahad Pettifer, who has sliced and diced Houston the last 2 years, into the lane, rejected. The officials converge with 13.9, and they will say,
remember, watch this. Watch the block.
Auburn ball.
Watch the block right here. It's a good call. They don't even need to review that. And remember, the officials cannot review that It has to be a challenge.
And it was Flemings, a freshman, with a block. Now Auburn will take its final timeout with 13.9 to go. Kingston Fleming's been a little passive offensively down the stretch, but he makes the play of the game defensively on Pettiford. And Auburn is without timeout.
Now the reason there's no review by Kelvin Sampson is because it's clear to his video guy relaying it to the coaching staff that was clearly off of Houston, so you're not going to challenge it. But here's what I want you to think about, Kevin. Pettiford's going to go quick, okay? And there's a good chance he can score. If I'm Kelvin Sampson right now and there's 5 or more seconds when the ball goes through the net, I am telling my team, no timeout, get it in quickly, preferably to Flemings, and push it up the floor. I happen to think Pettiford is going to score or get fouled here, minus a great defensive play by Houston, which they're capable of doing. But if there's time to get it in quickly, I'm not calling timeout, I'm pushing it. 5 or under, then I take the final timeout.
Remember, Auburn has been in one close game this season, a surprising close game. They were taken to overtime in Stephen Pearl's head coaching debut by Bethune-Cookman. And do you think Bruce is a little more cavalier than he would have been a year ago in this spot?
Can I tell you something? He feels more nervous now, and I've talked to him about this, than he did when he was coaching. When you're coaching, it's like flying an airliner. You don't have time to think about being nervous. You just have to get the plane down. When you're not coaching, you're thinking about your son and hoping that his team can come out with a win.
And your son's in the cockpit.
Yep, and there's Pettiford. Watch him, he's on the left block. It's got to be a clean inbounds, and Sacco is not going to guard the ball. It's going to be sharp.
Freeman will inbound. Remember, he cannot run into Williams-Adams. 13 seconds to play.
Here comes
Pettiford. Pettiford is knocked away by Flemings again. A block and a deflection from Flemings, and the clock is down to 10.9.
And no timeouts left. So now you got to get it into Pettiford and get the heck out of his way.
Remember, no Hall on the floor. He left with an injury. Freeman will inbound. Pettiford strings for Murphy, who's got it. The freshman Williams-Adams tried to set up the lob. It's Pettiford. It's Pettiford splitting 2. Pettiford puts it up. Rejected by Sacco. Saved to Flemings. And there will be a little time. Auburn will have it with a few more ticks than that. But Khalifa Sacco's shot block saves the game for the moment for Houston.
Now, remember, the clock stops when the ball hits the first thing out of bounds. And so there might be more than 0.2. We'll have to check. We'll see as soon as the ball. Now look out over at the Auburn bench, because that's where the ball was thrown out of bounds. There's the save.
Isaiah Harwell. Flemings was calling for the ball, and then the pass bounced off his hand and hit right about a second.
What I see right there is 0.9. Now they'll review this. I think 0.9, or now they're going to put 1 up. Okay, that's fair. And that means that you're going to have a chance for a catch and shoot here.
How tough of an inbound spot is this in the corner?
Yeah, this is amazing, because I would say 70% of teams in America never practice the ball being taken out in the corner with 1 second to go. Kelvin Sampson is now saying they're out of timeouts. What are you doing here? Now, there are teams that have plays where you kind of do a circle and run a big guy to the rim. But this is all. Now, here's what's got to happen. Houston's got to be careful of a slip screen to the basket. I'd rather Pettiford beating me on a desperation jumper than Murphy slipping to the basket or some sort of lob. Sacco is on the inbounder, and he's going to be a problem.
Freeman's going to inbound it. 1 second for Auburn. No timeouts. The lob for Murphy. There's a whistle. Murphy's fouled before the shot.